Saturday marks 100 years since the deadliest hurricane in the history of the coastal bend.
Officially, 284 people died, but the real number is likely to be much higher. A century later, our community prepares to honor those who died and to examine the storm's lasting impacts. Our Seth Kovar joins us now live in the studio. And Seth, commemoration events are planned for Saturday's anniversary.
Yeah, there's a couple. It starts with a memorial Saturday morning and then moves to the Corpus Christi Museum of Science and History, where a number of activities will be happening. Among them, a look back in time through photographs of the devastation captured on postcards.
There's the postcard that we used to do the cover of our 1919 hurricane book.
The book Jim Maloney co-authored has dozens of photographs that people took after a storm surge covered North Beach and downtown Corpus Christi with 12 feet of water.
These were just people wanting memories of what the town looked like after the storm.
Those memories ended up on postcards, as was popular back in the day. Collectors like Maloney used them to tell the story of September 14th, 1919.
9:45 in the morning on Sunday, September 14th, a warning goes out that the barometer is falling and we're going to get a hurricane.
Lots of people didn't heed that warning. Then around noon, the arrival of the 1919 storm. That's how we named hurricanes before our current naming system. There was lots of rain and wind up to 100 miles per hour, but that storm surge was the real killer.
If you got out during the beginning of the storm, you were wading through 1 to 2 to 3 foot deep of water, but eventually it was over your head and you were stuck.
Maloney says it took 3 days for all the water to flow back into the bay. Even before then, though, there were rescues, but also the grim task of body recovery. The cleanup of shattered homes, businesses, and lives would take months.
They dumped it all out at that pile of debris, which is down where the Corpus Christi Museum and the arena are today.
It's at that museum where Maloney's postcards had been blown up and put on display for an event Saturday, the 100th anniversary of the 1919 storm.
The whole museum will be transformed into a bygone era.
Among the activities, reenactors will tell survivors' stories, people astonished at Mother Nature's wrath.
No one thought that hurricane was really going to be a serious, devastating event, and they didn't take it really seriously, and it really wiped out most of Corpus Christi and changed the face as we know it today.
The biggest change, the Corpus Christi seawall. Even as the city struggled to find the money to recover, they made plans for a barrier designed to keep the bay, well, at bay. It took more than 20 years, but when it was finished, its legacy in the 1919 storm was clear.
The seawall is 14 foot high. It's 2 foot higher than the 12-foot surge.
Dozens of people who died were never identified and were buried in a mass grave at Rose Hill Cemetery. That's where a memorial will take place starting at 8:30 Saturday morning. Everyone's invited to come out and pay their respects. Then at 10 Saturday morning, the special exhibit at the Museum of Science and History begins. It runs until 5 that afternoon and costs just $5 to get in. Katya?
We can learn so much from that. Seth, thank you for that reporting. You can buy that book, 1919, The Storm, online. We have a link to the website on our website at KrisTV.com.